If you don't have to handle cattle during times of extreme daytime and nighttime temperatures, he says it's best to avoid it.
But if you have to, make sure you're handling cattle kind of in the coolest part of the day, which is generally early morning. So if we can do it even a little bit as the sun's coming up or even a little bit before, that's a good time, because that exercise and motion is just going to make that heat stress worse if they're already stressed a little bit.
Learn more about heat stress in cattle at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
Today's Daily Encouragement by William the Encourager, sponsored by Ted Russell Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty on Kingston Pike.
Praise the Lord. It's Friday. My right-hand man Dan just said, I heard a rumor. I said, what's that? He said, it's Friday. I say, yes, you are right, Dan. It's time, and it's time to encourage. And we pray that this is encouragement for our brothers and sisters. Exodus 14:13 says, and Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom you have seen today, ye shall see them no more forever. God is able to remove your problems. And I'm a living witness, my brothers and sisters, because if he did it for me, I know he'll do it for you. Do you know there's 7 reasons for encouragement? Genesis 26:28 says, there's blessing in the journey of life. 26:24 says, and the Lord appeared unto him the same night and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with you, and will bless thee, and will multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. God is in the multiplication business, but you have to subtract sin, and he will multiply your blessings. Another reason to be encouraged, supply in famine. 1 Kings 17:13 says, and Elijah said unto her, fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me therefore a little cake first and bring it to me, and after make for thee and thy son. When we are willing to obey the word of God, God will multiply your supplies. He is a protection in peril. 2 Kings 6:16 says, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Your enemy will come in one way and they will flee 7. My brothers and sisters, loved ones, neighbors, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, be encouraged today and know that God is your protector. There is strength in weakness. Isaiah 41:10 says, fear thou not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. Yes, I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. Praise ye the Lord. We're talking about the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, who is your companion in the trials. Isaiah 43:1 and 43:2 says, but now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burnt, neither shall thy be kindled, the fire kindle on thee. What a mighty God we serve. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Seba for thee. In other words, my brothers and sisters, God will send his angels after you. He will come and save you. Be not afraid on this Friday, but be encouraged, my brothers and sisters, and always know that there is a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Jordan Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Roane, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask your neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. This is Ask Your Neighbor on a Finally Friday edition. My buddy Stephen McNally's up here with me. Hello, Stephen. How are you, sir?
Hey, Ron. Good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you. How's life been treating you, pal?
Oh, man. It's been great. We're blessed, for sure. Christina and I and all the kids.
We were just talking about that. So you adopted one, and you're getting ready to finalize adoption on another one?
We are, yeah.
And how many is that making a house now?
5. Yeah, yeah.
What are the ages?
Phew. Well, we just had some birthdays, so they range from almost 3 to 12.
Wow.
Yeah, we were starting to hit those
running the gamut. Oh,
years,
Lord.
And then we still have one coming out of diaper, so
wow.
It's a lot of fun at our place.
You're going to be juggling for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, juggling's a good word.
Never a dull moment, I bet.
No. It's a new life experience, right? We've got both ends, that preteen stuff, and we thought we were out of the whole baby changing and nursery kind of thing. No, we're just getting to experience it all. And it's a mix of boys and girls. We got 2 boys and 3 girls, and 3 biological, and 2
adopted.
Yeah.
You still working with Isaiah House?
Yeah, we do. So my wife Christina, she does more with them than I do.
Yeah.
They're right down the street from us in our neighborhood, and we love that. And she'll go sit when they've got kids. They always have kids, which is a good thing. Right?
Sure.
I mean,
yeah. You'd rather not have them than have them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Better to have it, not need it.
Yeah. But she's a trained volunteer for them, and we try to do some events with them and stuff. But yeah, she'll go sit on occasion or go clean, do some laundry, just kind of chip in where she can. It's a great organization.
Oh, it is.
I do a lot with the Child Advocacy Center, just down the street here.
Sure, right up here across from H&H.
They're right across from H&H, yep. And a lot of people don't even know they exist, which is probably a good thing too, right? If you
don't know about it, it means you haven't needed it, which is a good thing.
Right, and it's a tough organization. We're thankful to General Clark for starting it almost 20-something years ago. But it's unfortunately a necessary one here in the community with all the bad things that happen. So, they're a good organization, and they partner a lot. DCS, Isaiah House, Family Justice Center.
All kind of working for the same cause.
Yeah, trying to just get some justice and some healing for folks.
I remember a long time ago, the Child Advocacy Center, it was in the building where Fox and Farley is. That's where it started.
Yep.
And then some federal funding ran out, and they sold that building. In fact, I was going to buy that building and move the radio stations down there.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was trying to negotiate with him. Mike Farley just walked in and bought it.
Yeah, probably laid a check down.
Probably. But and it's worked out well for them, and we're fine. We're fine staying up here. But so we're talking about now. Are you doing the on deck full time? You still doing your job and on deck part time? I know you've got trainers that do a lot of work for you. But
no, it's a great question. This is so on deck athletics is just a side kind of fun thing for me and a really good friend of mine, Alan Goins.
Sure.
He and I entered into this together as a partnership, and it's not our primary thing.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty cool because we don't have to make decisions that revolve around money. So much of the youth sports scene, tournaments, and everybody's on a travel ball team, and it's become almost a status symbol. And for us, we view it as a way to give back because we do a lot of free things. And as a matter of fact, we'll talk about one of those as we go on, but because we got one coming up this weekend, a big one. But it's more of almost an extension of a ministry and an opportunity for kids that maybe couldn't go to Knoxville to get a lesson or anything like that. But we do have trainers who do this full time at our place.
Okay.
And they do well. The lessons are not necessarily cheap by any means, but you're getting these experts to teach you. I mean, they've played at high level of professional baseball or collegiate ball, or they've coached at a high level, and they're imparting this knowledge on you, especially position-specific knowledge, pitchers, catchers, if it's hitting, if it's just general defense, speed and agility, conditioning, strength and conditioning. They know a lot.
Tell people just a little bit about On Deck and what it is and what all that you do, folks that may not have heard about it.
Yeah, so we're in Clinton. We're right behind CUB in the industrial park, J.D. Yarnell Industrial Parkway. We're right next to Gary's Body Shop.
Yeah.
On the building right before it on the right. And it's great. Gary's a great neighbor. And we offer youth baseball, softball training. And so we have a strong partnership with our local rec leagues, whether it's NAGAF, whether it's Clinton baseball, Clinton softball. We've even reached out to some of the Oak Ridge leagues to offer our services to them, as well as, the hundreds of travel teams that we have kind of popping up left and right. We do team rentals. We do private lessons or group lessons or clinics. Sometimes we'll do softball camps or baseball camps or clinics. And then we also do individual rentals. So we've got some pitching machines. They're just manual feed. So you need somebody there to drop them in for safety kind of reasons. We chose not to buy those big honking automatic pitching machines for two reasons. One, the balls you have to use are hard as rocks. And the way the bat technologies are nowadays, you're going to destroy a bat.
Really?
Yeah, the bats are so hot now, and they're so fragile. You can't swing them under a certain temperature. You can't hit them too much. They crack because a lot of them are ceramic made, and they're
Why is that? Is it to get more bang, literally, for your buck on the hit, on the ball?
So you trade durability for performance in the bat industry nowadays.
Wow.
But
I didn't even know there was a bat industry. You know what I mean? It was just like a bat. I remember when aluminum bats were the big thing, you know, back in my day.
Yeah, right.
So,
well, I mean, and you've got them. I mean, they make them special for slow pitch softball. Those are completely different. Fast pitch bats are completely different. Even though you're still hitting a softball, they're just constructed and made differently. Baseball bats, there's even different tiers to them. They've got single wall, kind of your BB core, your U-Trip rated, USA rated bats. And they regulate them.
Yeah.
Up even through the pros where they're swinging wood. And so, we do private trainings, lessons. We do over, I'd say, about 110 private lessons a week on average at our facility.
Oh, wow.
We do team rentals, and we usually have a handful of those. When the rec seasons are going on, it's slammed.
I bet.
We've got a team in there. We've got 4 or 5 coaches going at once, and it's just, we're out of parking, really.
Wow.
And it's great. And then we do individual rentals. So if you wanted to take your boys down there and just go swing some, you could do that. My wife and I have even done it after going out to eat.
Just go.
Yeah, just go
blow off some steam.
Hit some baseballs, or some softballs. It's actually fun.
Sounds like it.
It's kind of like bowling. If you don't do it a lot, it's just something fun and different to do. And we have had a handful of couples come in and just try and take us up on it.
Sounds fun.
To rent a lane.
That's what you should have. You should have a couples night one night.
It's the couple scene in Clinton is not necessarily the most vibrant, right? But we have kind of promoted it to some of the parents, the travel teams, and we've had them take us up on it and come in and have little contests and competitions.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's fun.
How did you guys? What made you want to do this? I mean, I know you employed at the lab and busy dad.
Yeah.
What planted this in your mind to do?
Yeah, so that story is a pretty cool story, really. And I hadn't even thought about it until you started to ask this question, really. So about a year before we opened. So we opened in January of 23.
Yeah.
That was when we officially opened our doors. So about January of 22, we started having these conversations, Alan and myself, because we go to church together. We hang out together. Our families are pretty tight. And he had a warehouse that was just being used for storage mostly. And they had some machines set up because they run a pretty significant operation behind us.
Okay.
And actually, I was hoping he'd come on and talk a little bit about it. The Wall Street Journal just covered one of it. So they run blue chip picks. I don't know if you ever heard.
I have heard blue chip picks.
They're made here in Clinton, and most people don't know that. And
wow.
It's significant enough in the music industry that Wall Street Journal came, right? So
very familiar with them.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
So they were.
Tell him I need some picks.
Yeah. I'll let him. I'll let him know. So they had this warehouse. Our kids were into baseball and softball, and we help coach and do all the different things. And it's hard to find a place to practice when they're in season in rec ball.
Everybody's out on the fields.
They're being used, or it's raining and you don't have anywhere to go. And so we started having this conversation at church one day about, it'd be really cool if we could just buy a couple of lanes and let our teams come in and use it when they didn't have anywhere else to go. Just have a extra space, right?
Yeah.
And we started talking more about it, and I knew folks that were here in the community that have significant experience that wanted to start teaching but didn't want to or couldn't drive to Knoxville to another facility.
Yeah, didn't want to go 45 minutes.
And so all these pieces started kind of coming together, and it was like God was showing us, hey, there's a need here and you should follow it. Well, fast forward to September. So we continue the conversation. I'm running numbers. We're doing layouts. I mean, we're getting serious about it, right? Fast forward to September, and I lose my job at the lab unexpectedly. And that was a big hit. And for that first week, I actually lost my job on my wife's birthday that year.
I didn't know it was her birthday.
Yeah, so I came home or she came home from Bible study and was like, hey, what are you doing here? And I'm like, happy birthday. I don't have a job anymore. It's like, not sure where we go from here, but, God's going to take care of us. And boy, did he ever. So for about that next week, I thought this dream of opening On Deck was dead.
Yeah.
And we had just settled on a name, and I think we were getting ready to send Todd Temple some money to develop a logo package for us. So I kind of stopped everything because I needed the money I had that I was going to invest into this to feed my family.
Sure.
I didn't have a job, and my wife doesn't work officially. She stays busy
with 5 kids.
Yeah, but she's not bringing home a paycheck.
Sure.
Right. And so I thought, well, God's answered that. We don't need to do this. And Ron, God obliterated every door for the next 7 days. And I'm pretty dense. God's got to really shake me and tell me, hey, dummy, pay attention.
Flash the lights.
Yeah. And so the last thing that did it for us was a husband and wife who were coaching at another facility randomly called me. And at this point, I've probably only told 5, 6, maybe 7 people about the possibility of this.
Yeah.
And it's not a done deal, right? And somehow they found out. And the wife calls me. Her name's Jess Dominguez, and they coach for us still. and I never talked to her on the phone. I knew her family, Jeremy Webb, Craig's her dad.
Yeah.
And so I've played softball with them and kind of just knew of them, but I've never talked to Jess. She gets my number from one of them, calls me. I'm sitting on the couch applying for jobs. Christina's next to me, and she says, "Hey, I heard you're going to open a facility here in town." And I'm like, well, okay, so who'd you hear that from? And she's like, I don't remember, but that's the rumor going around. I just wanted to call and tell you, if you open it, we're going to quit where we're at, and we're bringing 50 kids a week with us right out the gate to your place. And I put her on speakerphone. I said, can you say that again? And Christina heard it, and we hung up the phone, and I said, honey, that's it. That's the final door that he's blown wide open. We need to do this. So for 2.5 months, I kept applying to jobs, and then I'd stay down there fixing the place up, until about 11 o'clock at night, come home. Sometimes it was a lot later than 11 o'clock. Yeah. Depends on what you're into, right? You can't leave it in a bad spot once you get into a project, but cleaning it up, moving things around, hanging the nets, doing the turf. Those turf rolls are a beast to deal with. They're 700 pounds. Yeah, and for 2 guys to move those things around, it is no joke. So we had to enlist some help.
You need a forklift, pal.
We do.
With the big pole like you do carpet.
Yeah, thankfully we had some equipment there because of their machining operation. They run 2 machine shops in the back. And so it was, God just provided everything that we needed. 2.5 months of fixing this thing up, and I land this job of my dreams. Just, being obedient, following God's call. I work from home now at full time as a contractor for the Department of Defense.
Oh, wow.
So I'm back running supercomputers for the DOD, for our military.
That's cool.
And I get to do that from the house.
That's even cooler.
Yeah. So in the position, it gives me goosebumps, but the position that I'm in right now was not originally in this proposal of this project that I'm on as a contractor. They decided, and the timeline happened after I lost my job. They created this position, and it couldn't have been created but anybody but me, basically. Like you read
fit
it. They might as well put my name in the job description. And it was the fastest process. I had a beach trip scheduled with my family.
Uh-huh.
I applied the Friday before leaving that next day.
Uh-huh.
I interviewed while I was down at the beach.
Oh, wow.
And got an offer like a week later. So it was like, I'm telling you, it was the whole process was
grand slam, to use a phrase.
Yeah. So we get to do this on the side. And it's been great. We've had about 10 coaches kind of come and go. We've got a steady 6 or 7 that stay with us. And I say come and go. One coach, my son actually sees him for pitching, and he's been doing it all winter. But he played at UT, drafted by the Braves, had some significant, got ran over. His legs were shattered, was never going to walk again, much less play. He ended up rehabbing, coming back, played for the Smokies for years, played in Australia. The guy's so well connected, and he drives every Monday from Kingsport during the summer because he's coaching the Axemen.
Oh, wow.
So he comes in during the day on Mondays and gives lessons to a handful of kids because he loves the game that much.
That's cool.
And so just some of these people that we've met, and in the winter, he's there more with us.
Were you a big baseball guy?
It's funny.
Because I've never been a big baseball guy.
So growing up, my uncle was a big baseball guy. David Adkins, for people that are familiar with Clinton baseball, and he used to be a DH back in the day. I think he played for Coach Taylor.
Okay.
I know he remembers him because we talked about him a lot. But he used to hound me to play baseball. And both of his boys played high-level baseball. One went D1, even with some torn hip flexors and everything else.
Wow.
And probably could have played somewhere else, but decided to hang it up. But I never did. We weren't very well off growing up. I grew up in a double wide, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we didn't have a lot of extra spending money. My mom was a single mom, and she busted her butt to give us as much as we did have. And our kind of unwritten rule was you could play one sport. And basketball was my one sport.
That was your thing.
I'll never forget. One year my uncle had talked me into playing baseball. I said, Mom, I'm ready to play baseball. And she looked at me, and she probably doesn't even remember this, but I do. She said, I'm not sitting out at a ball field all summer long in the heat, in the hot, because she worked, some tough jobs. And I don't blame her for shutting it, but she shut it down. She said, we're doing basketball where it's air conditioned. And I said, yes, ma'am.
There you go.
But it's funny. So I played basketball my whole life, got injured in high school, bad head injury, ended up picking up tennis because I had some kind of weird.
You say you were coaching my stepdaughter, Demi. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. And so I ended up playing tennis at Carson Newman. Never touched a racket till I was a sophomore in high school, played at Carson Newman, and actually got some playing time. I wasn't one of the best, but it was a lot of fun.
You got to do it on a college level, which is cool.
Division II level, yeah. So that was cool. But I got into slow pitch softball after kind of at the end of college. I started working for a automotive manufacturing company as their IT person. And they were like, hey, you're athletic. We need an outfielder. Like, you played tennis, right? I'm like, yeah. This is when I was in a little better shape than I'm in now. But they said, we need somebody to run around. And I know you've never done it. And I said, well, I can swing a bat. Like, I did that growing up playing, sandlot baseball.
Sure.
But I kind of fell in love with slow pitch softball and started traveling and playing on the weekends and doing tournaments. And then, once I got married and had kids, kind of hung it up. But then I went into, once my kids got old enough, started coaching. And I learned a lot from a lot of really solid coaches around, just helping them. Yeah. And, had the opportunity to continue to coach at different ages. And I still coach my daughter. She's got it's more of a development team, but we do travel somewhat locally to play. But they're 10U girls, and most of them, we're trying to keep them together. Most of them are going to end up going to Clinton or Anderson County. So trying to build the future, back. It's not about winning for us because we could go pick up people from Knoxville or all over. But we're trying to do this with some local girls. So we get beat a lot, but, man, they're improving. And that's the goal, right?
Sure.
To see them and to have them enjoy it along the way, not get burned out.
Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of how we fell into it. Really, it was mostly through our kids.
So you guys got open January of 23.
Yep.
And started off 50 kids, right?
Well,
so they brought some kids with them.
Yeah, it wasn't quite 50 out of the gate. There was an adjustment. Yeah.
How much are you up to now?
So it varies throughout the year. It's over 100 per week. I'd say about 110.
That's something.
And again, there's some times where we might get closer to 120, 130, and there's some months out of the year, like during this dead period that we recently had, when our coaches go on vacation or something like that, it automatically reduces that number quite a bit.
Sure.
So it's a roller coaster. And what I've learned, I'm putting this out there not to ward off any competition, because I love competition. And in this market, there's plenty for people to eat.
Sure.
This youth sports market. But there's really no money in owning and operating the facility. If you're a coach plus an owner, you can make some money. Yeah. You could actually make a living doing it. The husband and wife, Jess and Alex, that do it for us, they do well.
Do it full time. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
But they're up to 80-ish of those 110 approximately lessons a week that we give. So, I mean, they're really putting.
Well, it's kind of finite too, because they're not going to take lessons forever. So you got to keep having new interest, new blood to say,
Yeah, and honestly, that's part of why we're so engaged with the community and the rec leagues.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, some of those kids or parents or whatever it is, they want an extra push, right? They want a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
The way the baseball and softball worlds are today, especially for pitchers and catchers and even hitters. I mean, hitting is the hardest thing.
Sure.
You're going to fail 7 times out of 10 and still get paid millions of dollars.
I'll fail 10 out of 10 if you give me a bat.
Yeah, me too, probably.
I might hit 1 out of 25.
Yeah. But baseball is such a tough game because it is all about failure and about persevering mentally through it.
I played for 2 years. I played every sport for at least a year. I tried everything. See what I liked. I played baseball for 2 years. I thought that might be my thing, but it wasn't.
It's tough. It is. And there's points where you see a lot of quits, right? And I think I was reading a stat last year, and it said that the quit rate for baseball once kids enter high school is 73%. So from when they start in youth to basically if you're trying to play or playing in high school, 73% of them quit. So 3 out of every 4 kids are quitting baseball.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Trey played. He came up through the, to the little leagues and played. And then when he got into, I guess it was middle school, when he kind of lost interest in it.
Middle school's a tough adjustment.
Yeah.
It's really hard to go from coach pitch to kid pitch.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you're getting hit with the balls.
Sure.
Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Kids are still learning how to throw and how to pitch, and they're going to hit you, and you're going to get hit. And some kids don't like that.
No.
It doesn't feel good, especially if you get hit in a certain spot.
Sure.
But that's a tough adjustment. You see a lot of kids kind of bow out then. And then middle school is another big adjustment, especially now with some of these rules that we have. If you're playing varsity middle school baseball, not softball, but baseball, you have to swing a drop 3 bat. That's what the collegiate athletes
That's as heavy, yeah.
So you can get a shorter barrel and make that weight not as bad, but the smallest they make is a 29-inch drop 3 that I'm aware of.
So it's hard on middle school kids.
Yeah, especially, my son, he's not the biggest kid, and he'll be going into 6th grade this next year. He can't swing that.
Yeah.
I've been working him up with a drop 5. But it's a process.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. And you think about it. So they made that rule because you've got some 8th graders nowadays. They're grown men. They're
absolutely.
And if they're getting to swing a drop 10 or drop 5 bat, they're going to hurt somebody. Mm-hmm. Right. It's a safety thing. I get that. But for the TWSAA or the Middle School Association or whichever subcommittee made this a rule, they didn't really consider these 6th graders.
Yeah.
There should be a weight or an age or a grade exemption to those bats. You should be able in 6th grade to still swing.
To opt in or out of something smaller.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that that's not causing some problems, down the road.
Sure.
It's a lot of strain on
a lot of strain on your shoulders, and especially,
torso.
Absolutely. A lot of core.
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys have an event coming up.
Yeah.
Right?
We do.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is our 3rd year doing it. It's an MLB event. So Major League Baseball selects host sites.
Oh, cool.
And we kind of fell into it our first year. One of our coaches, so we run some teams out of our facility with our On Deck brand, and we're very picky about who we let represent our brand.
Sure.
Right? There's some facilities they'll just, if you give them a check, they'll let you use it. We don't actually charge our teams like the other facilities do to
use your brand.
Yeah, to use our brand. We view it more as an outreach kind of thing. But also, we're very, very picky. So we don't have teams for every age like a lot of facilities do. Most facilities will have 3 or 4 teams in each age, which just waters it down. Anyway, one of our early coaches, they coach our On Deck Hitmen team. They're a 12U team moving to 13U here in a month or 2. They somehow stumbled upon this competition and got approved because at the time they had owned and were operating a gym out in Wartburg.
Okay.
And that's who they got it approved through. And so we ran it at the Clinton High School field. And then ever since we've kind of taken it over. And so before I get too far into it, it's called Pitch, Hit, and Run.
I've heard of it before.
Yeah. It's like a lot of people are familiar with NFL's punt, pass, and kick.
Yeah.
Because they were advertising on TV and it was like a big thing. Mm-hmm. This is Major League Baseball's same kind of idea. It's a 3-event contest, and you pitch, you hit, and you run. And what the kids will do is they will hit off of a tee. They get so many hits off a tee, and it's for distance where it first lands. So we have to divide the field up into these zones, and they get points for each zone.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a convoluted. You have to remember how to translate the points and everything. They swing 5 times off a tee. They throw to a target. They get 2 throws at this target that's pretty small from a distance, and it's different depending on if it's softball or baseball.
Sure.
And then they do 2 90-foot sprints and for time. So you're hitting for distance, throwing for accuracy. You don't necessarily have to pitch. As long as you hit the target, you could underhand it, you could do whatever, and you're sprinting for time. The winners in each age group, It's ages 7 to 14.
Gotcha.
Baseball, 7 to 14 softball, and they break them down into 4 age groups within that 7 to 14. So you've got 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Sure.
And so they'll have 4 winners in baseball, 4 winners in softball. Every one of our winners automatically, because of our standing and our partnerships that we have, get to automatically go to the next stage, which is to do this at Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark or down at Truist Field in Atlanta. So they get to pick, or they could go somewhere else, but those are the closest two.
Gotcha.
And we've actually gotten to go volunteer the last couple of years
cool.
and be on the field up in Cincinnati shagging balls at a Major League ballpark.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
And so it's really special because we've been able to forge a partnership with the Knoxville Smokies. They were the Tennessee Smokies before. So last year we had our contest at their old stadium on 407 up there. This year we're doing it this Sunday in the new stadium.
That's pretty cool.
And there was we had to work through so many logistics because I don't know if you know much about their setup, but they do a week of baseball and a week of soccer. And they keep tick-tocking all year.
Really?
During season. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Every Monday, they shut it down, and they flip the field. And so what they do is they bring in sod, lay it on the infield.
Every Monday?
Every Monday. Bring in sod when they're going from baseball to soccer. Bring in sod, put it all over the dirt in the infield. And lay it down, mark it off, and adjust the outfield wall, all the stuff. And they run soccer. They're called one-knock soccer games. They're apparently a blast. I haven't been to one, but everybody that I've talked to, they love it. It's a good atmosphere.
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. And then when they flip it from soccer, they take that sod up and donate it to some place because it's pretty junky at that point.
Sure.
Because they've had soccer matches on it all week. And then the baseball team comes back into town. So they do a week of road trips and a week at home. And so that really limited our options on when we could have our event.
Sure.
Yeah, it's so busy compared to the old stadium.
Yeah.
The old stadium, they used to have tournaments for, high school teams and stuff. And I mean, it was so cool as a high schooler.
Oh, go up there and play. And
try to hit one out of a single A ballpark. That's pretty special, right? But I don't know that they're going to be able to do that now with the way they're scheduling things. And so we were very, very fortunate, uncertain for a while, very fortunate to work out a deal with them, and they're so good to work with up there. I'm just so thankful.
Randy Boyd and Chris, is that the?
Yeah, Chris.
I got to know them during the Oliver Anthony concert.
Yeah.
We brought Oliver Anthony.
Yeah.
We booked him, and then
Jeremy Bowler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. I know a Chris Bowler lives here in town, but Jeremy Bowler is the I guess his kind of VP or overall guy that runs a lot for Randy in the sports world, Boyd Sports.
Sure.
Yeah, and so we deal a lot with their guy that does all their events. His name is Richie, and he does a lot of community stuff, and this is part of it. And what's really cool is they used to rent out their batting cage when they were at their old location. If a team was playing up in Ripken and Pigeon Forge or whatever, they could go hit at the Smokies for a price.
Stadium,
yeah. Well, when they were in their transition, they had it all torn up. They would have people come stay in Pigeon Forge and call them. They were sending them our contact information.
Oh, that's cool.
And we had people driving from Pigeon Forge
to come down here
to come to Clinton,
hit ball.
Yeah, they'd rent 2 hours, and we've got some analytics machines and stuff that the pros and collegiate athletes use, and we bought those to try to help kids get a profile and get scouted and recruited, have some data on spin rates and movement of pitches and exit velocities off the bat and launch angles, all that stuff that MLB is crazy about their stats, right? Which it's good to a degree, but if you want to get scouted and you want to get offered, you almost have to have some of these depending on the level you're shooting for. So we bought these units, and they're mobile. We can move them around. It takes a little bit to kind of set them up, but we had a family. They came to Pigeon Forge for a birthday for their son, and had his son had a buddy or two with him, and he wanted to go hit on one of these like high-tech systems. And so Richie from the Smokies, he called me and he's like, "Hey, you guys have one of these Rapsodos, don't you?" And I was like, yeah, we do. He goes, "Man, I'm going to give this lady your phone number if you're okay with it. They want to come in and spend like 3 or 4 hours just hitting on it." And I said, bring them. Let's do it. And we did it. And I met them down there and made sure they had a good little time. And they ended up buying, hundreds of dollars worth of our gear and stuff to take back to North Carolina with them.
That's cool.
They're like, we're going to do this every year, So it's pretty neat. God's just opened a lot of doors. And another crazy one, just because I'm sorry, I just keep.
That's all right. That's what we're here to do, pal.
Another crazy one is we were notified, and I thought this was a prank or a scam, that USA Today had us listed as one of the best batting cages. They run these polls.
Yeah.
USA Today does. And I was like, there's no way. This is probably some scam to get my credit card information, or, you probably have to pay to participate. It's probably some who's who.
I was getting ready to say the who's who book.
And I was like, come on, there's no way, right? And I almost just deleted it. But I was like, let me dig into this a little bit. And it had enough credibility to where I responded back in the email. And, I'm a computer guy. I'm pretty careful. I'd have to take all these phishing trainings and everything all the time. And it passed my sniff test initially. And come to find out, you have to be nominated by somebody on their editorial board. Still no idea who did this. But they nominated us. We were the only batting cage in Tennessee to be nominated on this for this year.
Wow.
We ended up in third place after the voting. So we were voted USA Today's third best batting cage in the country here in Clinton, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's wild. It really is.
That's something to be proud of.
Yeah, we've not really pushed that out, but in talking with people, you come to our facility, it's not the nicest, you're not going to go in there and be blown away at what we have, right? Because we've fit it within an old warehouse. But it's clean. And our trainers are out of this world.
Sure.
Intentional. I mean, we have kids that drive from the other side of Maryville to come see our kids or our trainers. We've got kids that come from Jellicoe and that area all the way down 75 to come see us. And they're doing it week after week. And after talking to some of the parents, when I was just flabbergasted by this result, they're like, yeah, but it's not so much about the facility. You guys are different. You're not a number here. Like the coaches really care. You guys really care about the community. You're doing it the right way. And people are treated like they want to be treated when they come in. So
these pitch, hit, and run, the thing you're doing this weekend, do you have to be on a team to do that, or is it individual kids that can come in and sign up and do that? How does all that work?
That's a great question. So it's individual and it's free.
Oh, free.
It's free. Yeah, it is 100% free.
Really?
The only thing it costs you is your time. And the way we run ours, some places run them a little different around the country. The way we run ours is once you get through your stations, you're free to go. We're not going to hold you there until the end. We'll reach out to the
winners. You know where you placed or whatever.
Yeah, because we've got to get everything back and make sure that they've been scored properly, and we've got to go through them all and check them and finalize everything. Just verify, do one last verification, and we usually have that done at night. And we reach out to the winners, and then they can start setting up their travel to Cincinnati, Atlanta, or wherever. But no, it's designed to bring people in who maybe have never even played.
Yeah.
But of course, you get a lot of travel kids that come and play. Because
add their stats or winning. It's got to carry some prestige with it if you are.
Well, and then you're getting to do it on a minor league field.
And if you advance, a major league field.
Yeah. The way that ours is set up, we get people from like all over Tennessee that come to ours because we're the only. Chattanooga was talking about maybe doing one, but last year we were the only one that did that had an automatic qualifier event in Tennessee because we were the only ones that partnered with a minor league team.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's pretty special. But it starts at 6:30.
6:30 Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday. Sunday night, 6:30. There's a game. The Smokies are actually playing at 1:00.
Oh.
And so if you wanted to, you can
make a day.
Yeah, make a day out of it. And the way that they've got, restaurants and everything down there now, you can go to the game, go out to eat, come back for the pitch, hit, and run, and you go home.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
If somebody's out there and they're interested, they've got a kid maybe that's interested in baseball or what have you, how would they get a hold of you guys, get some more information?
Yeah, so you're welcome to call me. My cell phone, my personal phone is 865-771-4592. It's on the Pitch Hit and Run website too, and the closer we get to the event, my phone starts ringing quite a bit. MLB has a little platform that they have you go register under, and it sometimes works and sometimes it doesn't. So I have people call me a lot, but we'll have on-site registration there too. So that even if you don't want to pre-register, you can just walk up.
Do you guys have your own website, On Deck?
We do, ondecathletics.com.
Easy enough.
It is easy. Todd Temple, again, he's the best around for that kind of stuff.
He did a couple of our radio stations for us.
He went out and snagged it for us early.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good.
He was thinking about us. But, yeah, ondecathletics.com.
It sounds like, I know it's a side hustle or what have you for you, but it sounds like it's fun for you.
It is. And I don't know if you can tell from the excitement because I can sit here and talk about it all day, but we've gotten – I think we've made an impact here.
That's cool.
And that's the goal, right? Whether it's an individual or whether it's a community, that's what we're here for. We're trying to raise this tide for everybody.
That's cool.
We're not supporting Clinton High School more than we are Anderson County or Oak Ridge. We want everybody to do well.
Sure.
Yeah. So it is fun to see that.
Any plans on growing the business or what have you, or the facilities or whatever? Sounds like you're growing in students.
Yeah, so we started out with only 5 lanes. And the way we did some custom netting, and it's not something that people normally do. We bought these shells, and then we have nets that can be reconfigured. So we have a shell that as you walk in on our left, you've got a shell with 3 lanes, but those inside partitions of netting can be, sorry, I just nailed that.
That's all right.
Can be rolled away
Sure.
to open up into one bigger area. And so our teams, when they come in, they get all 3 of those lanes and they can configure them however they want. They could do 3 lanes of hitting, do 1 lane of hitting and 2 of just like some fielding work or something else.
Okay.
And so we started out with 5. So we just had the 3, and then we had 2 pitching lanes over here because they're a little longer, for the distance. And we were having to turn people away. And I thought maybe 3 years in, we would maybe expand within the footprint that we already had. We've already expanded. So we've been running 8 lanes and could probably expand again.
Really?
So we finished that expansion late last year and have been running strong. Real strong.
What hours do you guys operate?
So it's evenings mostly. For general public, it's evenings. We do lessons like right now in the summer. A lot of our coaches, because they've got access to get in and out, they'll do lessons during the day. But for the general public, it's 4 to 10, Monday through Friday. And then we do Saturdays, 9 to 5. Now, those hours, we're always open when we say we're going to open on the front end. But if there's nothing going on
at 7:30, you call it a day and go to the house.
Yeah, I'm not going to have, because we got a lot of local kids that help us man the front desk and work for us, and I'm not going to tie them up unless they just want the hours, and they can clean. But if we don't, like on a Saturday, when a lot of people are out of town on vacation, we might close at 12:30.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. But there's days where we're slammed and we're there even later too.
What's that? Monday through Friday, 4 to 10. What are the Saturday hours?
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Yeah.
Got it.
Good Dolly reference.
Again, if I just wanted to come down and hit some balls, I could just come down there and rent a lane and hit some balls.
Fill out a waiver and rent a lane, and we've got pitch machines.
So it's kind of like a driving range. It's for baseball. It's a little more intricate.
It is, yeah. It's a little more involved. I mean, it's not as easy to go on your own unless you're going to hit off of a tee, because our machines, they require somebody to drop the ball. Yeah. But what we see a lot of parents bring their kids in who maybe aren't comfortable pitching, but they're comfortable and they're
dropping the ball in the machine.
Yeah. So they can do that pretty easy. And we offer some memberships too. We've not pushed those a whole lot, but it's a great deal for people that want to come in multiple times a week, or even if you come in really 2 or 3 times a month, you've used your membership and then some. it's $60 for a month, and you get if you want to use it, they don't roll over or stack or anything, but you can rent a lane for 30 minutes a day free for any time we're open.
That's pretty cool.
As long as we have the availability. Yeah. And that's another reason we've not pushed the memberships as hard, because we don't want it to be.
You don't want all
full.
The lanes taken up.
Yeah, we don't want to just take people's money and then never have the availability, because we heard that a lot when we opened. A lot of facilities, I don't want to say
they sell all the memberships they can, and everybody shows up one day, and not everybody gets to play.
Yeah, or they'll make you buy a membership before you can even rent a lane.
Oh,
it's kind of like,
like a gym member.
Yeah,
that's no fun.
Yeah, and then you got to pay to rent the lane on top of it. So we were not going that route for sure. But yeah, it's been a blessing, and I hope, my dream is to build a facility here in town or close by, because I understand how restricted we are with real estate and everything else. But to have a facility that's even bigger with an indoor infield.
Oh, wow.
Because you could do a lot of really cool things with an indoor infield. You could have wiffle ball leagues. You could have kickball leagues year round. You could do a lot, maybe partner with the city or the county and do different things, Parks and Rec.
Sure.
And then, on top of that, having an indoor turf, at least an infield, the teams would eat that up.
Oh, I know they would.
Yeah.
I can go all the way back to 2009, and there were some studies were done, and this is mostly for soccer, and the need for some of those indoor places for soccer teams and some of the other things, that there was a huge need then. I can only imagine that it's grown.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The baseball and softball, to a degree, those sports world, it's become a status symbol.
Really?
Yeah. For families. Almost. It's not so much here.
I'm gonna tell you something. James David, he would play basketball 24/7. He almost does. My driveway's striped. I've got a court at my house.
Yeah.
And he's played AAU ball.
Yeah.
And I'm done with it. I'm so, just like we didn't know until yesterday if we were going to a tournament in Chattanooga tonight.
Right.
I said, James David, I can't function like that. I've got, and it's expensive. It's very expensive.
It's expensive to go watch an AAU tournament.
It is, yeah. But he plays. They ended up not doing this tournament. He plays and he does it, but it's cumbersome. So yes. I don't know. Maybe it's a status symbol because it costs you so much cotton picking money to do it. Yeah. We've been to Cincinnati and we've been, all over the place, but I don't really see it as a status symbol, because I'm like when your mom said I want to sit in the air conditioning. Yeah. I don't like driving to Chattanooga and play at 8:30 in the morning on Saturday. Maybe or maybe not play again at 9 o'clock at night or 8:30 at night, depending on where I can't stand the unpredictability of it. So
rough.
I don't know how people deal it as a status symbol, because it drives me insane.
From what I've seen, and there's a lot of TikToks and reels and stuff about this. But
sure.
People, they love living through their kids.
Well, sure. I get that.
And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I think part of that's healthy.
Yeah.
You want your kids to have more or do better, maybe than you had or did when you were younger. But it, I think just like anything else, it can be taken across the line.
Yeah.
And we try very hard to keep it God-centered, to keep it healthy. We'll have people that will call us and say, hey, I want my 5-year-old or 6-year-old to have pitching lessons. And we'll say, no, we're not doing
Not
that.
there yet.
No, that arm's not ready. Mentally, the kid's not ready yet, because they don't start kid pitch really until they're 9 in baseball. And so we're trying to shine a light, maybe, where maybe you get so consumed by the world and what this player has and what they're wearing, what kind of bat they have, and all this stuff, and it's like, no, let's make it more about like the game. It's a kid's game.
You see any without names, you see any kids come through and you go, holy cow, this kid's got something.
Oh, yeah.
Is there, names to watch for a few years from now playing somewhere?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I won't give the names, just out of respect for them. But,
sure.
Yeah, we see some some pretty substantial studs, if you will.
That's cool.
That come through. They've got a lot of potential.
What about gals? The girls come and train
sides.
too. Girls softball, fast pitch softball's crazy.
Yes.
I don't know how they do that.
I love watching.
I can't even rotate my arm like that. I have no idea how they do that.
It's such a more natural motion.
I guess.
Yeah. So
easier to throw underhand like that than overhand.
It's easier on your shoulder.
I can't do either.
So in baseball, you have pitch limits, right? Where a kid shouldn't pitch more than a certain number of pitches in a day and a certain number in 2 days. And they, depending on the tournament, it's a little different. They might go by innings.
Sure.
Most should go by pitch count, but they don't. They go by innings. But for softball, you don't really. There's no limit
because it's not as hard on your. I had no idea.
You might have a girl who's throwing 400 pitches a day in an all-day Saturday tournament. So it's a different culturally. It's just different between baseball and softball.
And you guys have coaches that work on that, and now you got places where they can come and practice that too.
Yeah, we have a Jess. She's a former college pitcher.
Did I see the other day where one of the guys at UT threw like a 77-mile-an-hour pitch or 78? It was the fastest 78 mile an hour point.
Maybe
something.
It was 78.4 or something like that. Yeah. So I mean, Ben Joyce broke it on the baseball side.
Wow.
For 104 and some change that he threw. It was almost 105. And then this past season, Carlin Pickens broke it, and she actually broke it twice.
Wow. Yeah. Broke her own record?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's pretty cool. Like the Knoxville scene for baseball, softball, it's hot. It is. So used to, you would have to travel to Atlanta.
Does that have a little bit to do with the success of UT's program?
I think it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they feed into each other. I really do.
I'm interrupting you. Used to, you'd have to travel to Atlanta to get that kind of buzz about it.
When I was younger, I played travel basketball.
Yeah.
And you had to travel. You couldn't play here mostly.
Yeah.
The Knoxville wasn't a big basketball scene back then. It is now. There's a lot
much better. Oh yeah, I know. I'm Wartburg, and I've been all over the place to play.
Again, you've got back then you may have only had one or two organizations that would run tournaments, and now there's all kinds of organizations with their own bylaws and rules, and so you might go play a USSSA tournament in baseball one weekend. Next weekend you might play a NABF tournament. Or something that's NCS, or they have them like all over, and then they have their own little championships and things like that. And so the more you play and the better you do.
And James David's got like 3 of those giant championship rings that you get at a tournament.
Yeah, we had those cheap trophies that would break.
Oh yeah, I've still got mine at the house. You can pull their arms off of them. Yeah, the little plastic that's coated.
Those rings are cool.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
And the kids love them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my mom's actually made my son and my daughter who play these little ring holders.
Oh, yeah. They put their championship rings.
Like a baseball, stadium, right, and infield and outfield, and they've got little pegs so they can sit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my mom's pretty creative that way.
Yeah, the first tournament that James David was in that he won, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a ring," and I was like, "What?" And then he came, they gave him he came out of the thing. He's like huge. It's the size of a watch. Yeah, they're heavy.
They're 50 cents.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
It's cool.
Yeah. But they look like a state championship.
Yeah. They were all gaudy with the big, the stones. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. It is.
It's evolved, hasn't it? It's evolved. And same as you, when I played, we got a trophy if we won. You didn't get a trophy, we didn't get a trophy. Yeah, I think maybe first, second, third, maybe third got one of those little bitty plaques, I think, but got a trophy if you won. And it was a base and a little dude throwing a ball that was plastic, and your team's name on it.
We joke a lot about the rings, just because it incites so much excitement on the kids, and they keep them, and they're I know with my son, if he loses it on the way home or something like that, or if he can't find it for a second, he's where is it? And it is cool to look back. Even when we got trophies when we were younger, it's cool to look back and know that you earned it.
Absolutely.
Right. You put in a weekend for this, and
it is a weekend.
Yeah,
it is a weekend. It's
for
a
baseball.
full game.
It is softball. boy, those softball tournaments are something else. They go on Saturdays mostly. Some are multi-day. Most of the time they're Saturday only, and you might be there from 8 a.m. till midnight playing.
Yeah.
Again, those girls, fast pitch softball players, they're built different.
I'll tell you, I as much as anybody enjoy living vicariously through my kids.
Yeah.
Raising the pride of the Southland. I'm proud.
You should be.
But like I said, I get to a point I'm like, I don't want to drive to Atlanta, and not you. How many days we're going to be there? Well, it depends if we win. We might play Sunday morning. It's like
we might get a hotel. We might not. Yeah.
But I enjoy it to a degree, but it gets cumbersome too. But and sometimes I think it's a little too hard on the kids when you have to do that. I really do, because they get hungry, they get tired. They don't know when they're playing any more than we know when they're playing. They're a little more malleable than say I am. I'm old and rigid. I want to know when I've got to be there, how long I'm going to be there. The kids they're okay with that, but still it's hard on them.
Most important thing is to find out what the bathroom situation's like.
Exactly where you're at and where everything's located. I get it. We took James David. I don't know. He's a good little ball player. His favorite ball player is John Morant. So we took him to Charlotte to try and meet him. We took him to a game. We didn't get to meet him. We were there, but he wouldn't talk to us.
Yeah,
he's too big of a star.
Yeah,
got to meet Scottie Pippen's son, Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yeah,
he looks just like his dad. It's pretty cool. But
that's wild.
So we've done a little bit of traveling with it, but I try to limit that. Try to, limit it as best I can. But if we let him play, we take him where it goes. Like I said, I don't know how it's a status symbol, and it's hard. It's hard on parents. It's a lot of commitment. Like I said, I like living vicariously through them as much as anybody, but at the same time, there's not too many times that I have in a complete and absolute weekend that I don't have something somewhere.
Yeah.
To do with here or other businesses.
Well, I think too, it's not so much maybe about the sport or even with your kids as it is. I think we use busyness as a status symbol. That's true. A lot.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry, I'm too busy.
I got this. We just want to talk about
make ourselves more important than we are. Yeah.
Now listen, there's a lot of people that are busier than I am, but I got to be up there with 5 kids, a side business, and all the stuff.
Full-time job.
Yeah. So I always think it's funny. Because it's all about perspective. Right?
Absolutely.
Just because I'm doing all this stuff, that doesn't mean I'm any busier than you are or anybody else is.
Yeah.
Because it's a mindset, really. Like if
I agree.
Feel like you're being pulled, you could just have one thing going on. So I'm very careful to say, oh, you don't know how busy I am, because it's different for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I always chuckle when people are like, do you have any idea how busy I am? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like people say to me, man, you work all the time. You go in at 6, you come home at 7, 5-6 days a week. And I never think about it because I enjoy it so much. Yeah. I am busy, but it's not, I don't feel busy. I don't feel like I'm busy right now sitting here talking to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But a lot of people, I get, like you said, it's a mindset. It's a perspective on what you do. So.
And it's same in youth sports too. I mean, if you're, or for me, eating sweets. So weakness I have. And it's great.
What's your favorite?
Oh, donuts or ice cream, probably.
Okay.
I could probably eat ice cream until I just passed out.
Flounder on it.
If you put some Bluebell cookies and cream in front of me, I might hammer down that whole half gallon. But that's unhealthy.
No, sure. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that often.
Yeah, I can't do it. And so I have to be aware of it. And just like anything else, whether it's youth sports or even training.
Yeah.
We encourage our families to not overdo it on the lessons and stuff.
Sure.
We have some coaches that love doing this and love pouring it out and are doing it, to make a living, but they're not going to put a kid in a situation where it's unhealthy.
Sure.
They'll even recommend some breaks because they can kind of tell mentally the last couple of sessions, maybe they've not been as with it. Maybe they're not enjoying it.
Need a break.
And we also push multi-sport too. I'm a big believer in that.
I was getting ready to ask you, have you guys thought about branching out into other sports?
Yeah. There are some needs in the community. I think the top of mind is probably volleyball.
Yeah.
Brian Ford and others have been trying to pioneer this in the community for a long time, and there just There's not a rec league system in the volleyball world. You have to kind of jump in and do club volleyball and do some other things. There's always basketball, football related things, but honestly, I think outside of volleyball, most everything is pretty healthy here.
Gotcha.
We've got some pretty solid basketball trainers that do this for a living. A lot just in the Knoxville area, even some here in town. My good friends Neek and Ange, they're great friends of mine. I would never want to do anything to take away from what they do. Yeah.
But you think there might be a volleyball?
Maybe not for us, but it's out there for somebody. I don't know that we would ever step into that realm. The facilities are just so different.
Gotcha.
And it's just such a different market.
See, growing up, I'm relatively unfamiliar with facilities like that because I didn't have anything like that. We went to the ball field.
Right.
We played on the ball field. We didn't have indoor anything, So I'm relatively unfamiliar with the facilities and what it takes outside of stuff like Top Golf and things.
Man, those are sweet.
Pretty cool. I don't even go to swing the club. I just go to watch the kids and sit and eat. But so I'm relatively unfamiliar with it. But if people out there are curious, they can go to ondecathletics.com.
That's right.
ondecathletics.com, or call you at 865-771-4592. What do you want people to know that we haven't talked about yet, either about the business or about anything else?
Well, I think we've covered a lot of
ground.
Yeah. And I can talk fast and talk excited when I'm there and fired up. But I would just say, if you haven't stopped by to see us, come check us out.
I'd like to see it. I haven't seen it. I need to come down and look at it. I'd like to.
And help us spread the word. We're not doing this to make money. We don't want to lose money, obviously.
Sure.
Our mission is just different. And so, anything that we can do together with other organizations.
You work with any church leagues or anything like that? Or is there I don't know if there is written.
We've had some success in the slow pitch market. Gotcha. There's not a lot of facilities around for slow pitch.
Somebody asked me about this the other day, and you might be the person that can answer it. We used to have the Clinch River Classic softball tournament here. It was huge.
Major, yeah.
We used to broadcast it. I mean, a number of years we carried the tournaments. Yeah. What happened?
You're probably going to get a different story depending on who you ask.
Okay.
I have my opinions that I'll hold to myself, but there are some facts. One, the bridge was
construction.
Yeah, that was an issue.
Gotcha.
And where the new bridge is now, you can hit them on top of that bridge. It's close enough with the softball technology.
So you could hit one and hit a car.
Yeah, that is a legitimate risk.
Really?
Now, yeah. Not everybody can go down there and do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do that.
I can't do that.
But I know there are guys that I know that
can hit them that far.
Yeah, they'd flirt with it. So, and then you bring in these teams of guys that get paid to do this. They're going to do it. So, it's a risk. And I don't know that a big tournament like that could happen at Lakefront.
Gotcha.
Now, of a true men's league where you've got paid people coming in like the Clinch used to have, right? When
almost like professional.
Yes. Yeah. Where it's unlimited home runs and you got people in canoes fishing softballs out the river. Yeah. You may not get to that level, but you could do a lower class tournament with limited home runs and probably get away with it. But, that bridge construction, it lasted for a little while. And
5 years.
And they were using a lot of that space underneath the old bridge, and it was a bed down area and construction zone, so this wasn't necessarily the best fit, and I think the interest just kind of fizzled.
Well, I just know that was again another catalyst that some folks were using. There's some people looking at building some fields. In fact, it was Joe at the time, what is now Aspire.
I remember that.
When I went in 2009 or 2008, he asked me up to his office, and he had these designs for competitive fields out there.
It was Ripken before Ripken.
Yeah. It was. It was.
You see what they're doing up there with Rip.
Absolutely. He had his. I mean, and part of it was based on the success of that, and it was a growing trend at the time. So. Yeah. Somebody asked me about that the other day, and I said, I have no idea what happened, because it was wildly successful, or at least popular anyway.
Well, and I'll say this too, I got to give, a shout out to the Parks and Rec department.
Absolutely.
They, over the last couple of years.
JR out there working hard.
Yeah, JB and my buddy Levi. He's there. He's a former college baseball player himself. And all those guys that work in that department, they have the fields looking great. Around town, especially lakefront. I drive by it several times a day coming to and from the house, and it's beautiful now. And they got a fall slow pitch league going again last year.
That's good.
It's the first one, in several years that I can remember having down there. So it was cool. They had a co-ed league and a men's league, and it was neat. It was a pretty decent little response. So I think, there's a chance it could come back. Really.
Sounds like yeah, we can take a question. You want to take a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can. Someone wants to ask you a question. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor. You got a question for our friend Stephen McNally this morning.
Yeah, Ron, what's going on?
Hey, Clay Wright. How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm out here roasting. Woo, it is hot.
Well, get you some shade, pal.
Yeah.
And a cold drink.
I had a question. Yeah, I heard him talking about mainly they started at the age of 9, really pitching and going on. I was just wondering, do they do any, do you do any younger work with any younger kids?
Oh yeah, we've got kids as young as 4 and 5 that come in there and take lessons. I've even given some free lessons, and we've done some free clinics and stuff to try to help just build some fundamentals. Yeah. But yeah, we don't restrict
confidence building. My 2 grandsons play. I get out here and play with them in the yard, but I'm probably not the best teacher in the world,
Oh yeah, we've got in fact we've got some little boys and girls that come for baseball and softball. They're unbelievable. I mean, they'll blow your mind.
Huh?
Yeah, they're 4 and 5 years old, throwing as hard as some of these 9 and 10-year-olds that come in. Yeah, so it's all kind of dependent on the kid.
Yeah, every kid's different. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I was wondering.
There you go, pal.
I'm glad we're talking baseball today. Here's a good one you could discuss. You got somebody in baseball there. They released the list of people in the home run derby today for the All-Star weekend.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen
Ohtani's not in it. Schwarber's not in it. Judge isn't in it. Nobody that hits fingers is in the home run derby.
Oh, man.
It's getting to be just a joke anymore,
Yeah, I don't know how much of that's not motivated by other things.
The teams don't want them to get hurt, but you got nobody that hits home runs in the home run derby this year.
Wow.
That's a shame.
It makes no sense.
It's kind of like the dunk contest on the NBA side.
Yeah. Right? That's exactly what everybody said. Everybody said this is become the new NBA dunk contest.
Yeah.
There you go.
I hate that. I'll never
All
forget
right, guys. I appreciate you answering. That's a good topic there. I didn't know we had that in Clinton.
Well, there you go. There's a lot of folks that didn't. When Stephen first come up and told me about it, I didn't know it. So
it's the first I've heard of it, too.
There you go, Clay. Thank you, buddy.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye. I think you guys kind of are a little diamond in the rough on there. Folks don't really, like when you came up, it was probably 23 when you first got started. The first time you came, maybe it was 24. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it, but the last time we talked about this, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you guys, and you were already up and going. But.
Yeah. It's taken me this long to carve out some time to get up here and talk, and I hate that. We're not the best at promoting. Because most of it's just me or Alan kind of or our wives putting some stuff together, and we've talked about maybe hiring somebody young and upcoming that's looking into getting into the marketing
social media
some things for us. Yeah, but
when you're having these clinics and these free things, just shoot me an email. You know what I mean? And we'll put it on here because there's a lot of just like Clay. You know what I mean? There's a lot of grandparents out there that. They want to do some fun stuff with their kids. That's indoors. Take them, get them part of it, and especially if they're going to go on and want to play Little League and they want a little extra practice.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
It's cool. People are hungry for it, for sure.
Well, I think that, you know what, if you can get the kids out of their phone or off the video game.
Amen.
And, get out there, and especially like you said, if parents want to drop the ball, let the kids hit. It's, you may just be dropping the ball, but you're spending time with your kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quality time. A lot different than sitting there watching them, with their nose in the phone or whatever.
Right. Yeah, and it's, if you want to come rent a lane, it's $20. We don't charge any extra. It's $20 for 30 minutes or $30 for an hour. So we charge no extra for a pitching machine. As long as we've got one available, you can use it. We really don't nickel and dime folks.
That's cool.
We want people to come in and use it.
That's good. Well, I hope folks will come and do that. Hang on. We got another question, Jay said.
All right.
Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor. You have a question or comment for our guest this morning?
Yes, sir, Mr. Meredith. I do there.
Hey, Brother Mike, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, baby. Just trying to stay cool. But I've been listening to Stephen talk about this facility, and I had no idea it even existed. And I'm a guy that coached baseball for 20 years.
Well, there you go. Learn something new every day, pal, listening to WYSH.
We never had facilities like this. Actually, used to they used to have batting cages set up outside at different places, and you put money in these batting cages, and these pitching machines would pitch to you.
Yeah.
But you don't even see them around anymore either. But I was kind of curious about your facility there. I know you said it was in a warehouse. Is it one of them 110-degree warehouses, or is it air conditioned?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's climate control. We've got heat and air. We thought initially we could get by without an AC unit because we got some garage doors.
Yeah.
That didn't last long. We've got
it does get hot.
It's wonderful in there, and it's not the most efficient setup
but it's comfortable.
Yeah, it's way better than being outside.
There you go.
Well, another question there, Stephen. Do you all, the kids that come in there that hits and stuff, do they have to bring their own bats, or do you provide bats, or they have to bring their own?
Yeah, mostly we encourage them to bring their own if they have them, but we've got a lot of extras that have been donated to us. We actually have a partnership with a guy in town, Craig Brooks. He makes custom wooden bats, and he can do anything.
Oh, okay.
And so we've got some demo bats that we have for him, and we also have some of his for sale too, but you can go straight to him and get kind of whatever you want. But yeah, he's been real gracious at
I even know back in the 90s and stuff, some of those Easton bats were like $200.
Yeah. Well, now they're approaching $5.
Shut up.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there, but I think that, when my son was playing in the high school level and stuff, they were actually using -5s then, and then by the time he went into college, I think first year, second year one, they switched to -3 because, the balls were just flying off them -5s. They're just too hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and the way the bat technology has improved so much over the years, it is wild.
It is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know how. I don't even realize how they can, how a bat can be anything more than a bat. How it can have, technological advances. But it's a block of wood, for crying out loud, or it was when I grew up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Carefully engineered.
No doubt there. Do they have to wear tennis shoes down there, Stephen, or can they wear cleats?
Yeah, so the only thing we don't allow are the metal cleats, just because that really tears our turf up. We try to encourage tennis shoes or turf shoes, but a lot of kids are wearing those plastic molded cleats.
Yeah.
Those are fine, but tennis shoes are the best thing.
Okay. Now, what did you say about as far as the batting cages there? Do you got are the coaches actually pitching to them? Because you were talking about how hard those balls were in some of the pitching machines.
Yeah, so the way that we're set up, we have coaches who you can schedule and pay for a lesson to come and train, your child, your grandchild, whoever it is, or you can rent a lane by yourself.
And then you drop the ball in the machine, and Junior hits it.
Yeah, as a parent, you would be the one dropping the ball in the machine. In that setup.
Okay,
yeah.
man.
So that's kind of the only downside about our model, but it was a way where we could keep costs low.
Sure.
Because there's not we thought, honestly, when I first started running the numbers, I thought we'd get a lot of walk-ins, people that want to just rent lanes.
Yeah.
And we don't get a lot of that. And so it would.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of folks don't know about it.
Yeah.
Really.
Could be. Or they're just uncomfortable. Maybe they don't know that, how to necessarily do it. But we try to, our front desk workers, and if I'm around or one of our coaches are around, we try to show them how to be safe while they're using the pitching machine, that kind of thing. And we've got nets and stuff that they stay behind, so it's pretty safe.
Oh yeah, I know that when my kid first started out, you'd be just trying to get that hand-eye coordination down. You'd be underhanding them the ball there, trying to getting it down. Then eventually you'd back up a little bit and go overhand. Then as they get older, you got to get behind an L screen.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
But yeah, baseball. I've met more people playing baseball tournaments around the whole southeast there. Be it East Cobb, Georgia, Chattanooga, Cincinnati, Pensacola. You meet all kinds of people there. And Rod, interesting little story. We were playing in Nashville for a tournament one weekend, and we're playing on a ball field down there. The name of this facility was Twitty City.
Twitty City.
Twitty City ballpark there, and the guy that ran the field and stuff took me upstairs, and Conway Twitty donated a bunch of money to that place there, and he got to show me some of the people that had come through and played at that facility there. Ken Griffey Jr. was the first one to come to mind. So
wow.
You meet a lot of people in the baseball world as you travel around there. But I appreciate what you're doing, Stephen. I wish y'all the luck with it there. Man, I wish you'd have been around back in the early days.
Hey, better late than never, pal.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye. My big claim to fame is Ryan Sandberg. When I was out in Phoenix, when I lived out in Phoenix, he played out there. That's where they did their spring training at the Cubs. And it was a long time ago. I was dating a girl, and she was like, there's this baseball player lives next door to me you might know, Ryan Sandberg. I was like, I know who that is.
I'm coming over.
I was like, really? She's like, yeah. So literally I was picking her up one day, and I looked, and he's outside washing his truck.
No.
Yeah. And so I just walked over, and I said, Mr. Sandberg? And he was like, yeah. And I told him, I have had a friend that was just a crazy fan. And I said, if I got a baseball, would you sign it? He said, I got a baseball. So he actually gave me a baseball and signed it for me. That's awesome. That's my baseball claim. That's all I got. But that's really cool. It's pretty fun. Yeah, that's awesome. Pretty good. Thanks for coming up, Stephen.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You ever does it ever cross your mind to dabble back into politics, or is that gone and done?
It's not gone and done.
Okay.
It's it's not going to happen anytime this year. That's for sure. But no, I think there's still a calling there to do something.
Gotcha.
What that looks like and what it is, who knows? But yeah, I you know me, I like to help, and I've got ideas and opinions, and
sure,
why not put them to use? I tell people all the time, and it's something I realized years ago. If I'm willing to complain about it, I need to be willing to fix it.
Makes sense.
So I've stopped complaining about things that I'm not willing to fix.
Makes sense. I wish more people would take that approach. I really do. Yeah. Although I wouldn't have this show if they did. Because, a lot of times people call in and that's what they want to do is complain. I understand. Well, of course, keep us up to date. Like I said, when you're doing one of these things where it's free, open to the public, or you might want to consider, and I don't know if you'd have this, you might ought to have some kind of open house sometime.
Yeah.
Something. And we get on and, give it a good push and get some people out there and introduce them to what you're doing.
Yeah, that'd be great. I appreciate you offering that.
Anything we can do, man. We're all about supporting our local businesses because that's what pays my bills.
Sure.
That's how our survival's based on your survival. So
yeah.
All right, come back anytime. It's been too long.
I agree. It has. A lot's changed. A lot's happened since last time I was up here. So I'm glad to be back.
And growing your family.
That's right.
Congratulations too. By the way, you say might get to close. I say close. What is it? Finalize your adoption sometime
this month. That's what we're thinking. We'll see how it plays out.
You consider any more after that, or you done?
We'll pause for a little while. Yeah.
Pause. That's kind of a political way of saying, I don't know. You're going to pause for a little while.
We have a heart for it. And, it's kind of scary when you start extrapolating the ages. I'll be 40 this year.
Yeah.
And we've got an almost 3-year-old, and so you start working those ages out.
Oh, tell me I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly. I'm 61 and I got a 15-year. I got two. My twins are 15. I get it.
It hit me square between the eyes the other day. I thought, oh,
yeah,
wow.
You get to run. You get to running and going, and yeah, it's like I'm ready to go sit at the pool.
Right.
Steve McNally, I appreciate you guys. It's On Deck. The phone number, it's On Deck Athletics. If you want to look it up online, maybe you've got a youngster, grandkid, or whatever interested in baseball, softball, what have you. Look at the facilities. Look it up online, or you can call 865-771-4592. That's Steven's personal cell phone. He can tell you all about it. If you didn't get any of that, you can call me up here, and I've got it, and I'll be happy to give it to you. Like I said, come back, let us know.
Yes, sir.
You doing something, we'll be happy to put it on, promote it for you.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for all you're doing.
Anytime, buddy. I'm happy to be here to be able to do it.
That's right.
All right, guys, we're going to call it a day. We'll head toward the house, call it Friday. You have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in, dialing in, and listening in. This is AM 1380 WYSH, and Ask Your Neighbor.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your